Welcome you all to Kia, where we offer both physical and online lessons. In this video, I'm going to share with you the question that came in 2024 chemistry. Okay, so the question is specifically under the separation techniques. So the question says, B2, the question says, the following diagram shows a piece of apparatus used in the laboratory. So you have been given a piece of apparatus that is used in a laboratory. Now, before we even proceed, allow me just to share with you few notes that I've prepared or based on this question. Okay, so these are the few notes that I've prepared for you based on this question. Okay, so now you need to understand that the apparatus that we have been given here, this is known as the separating funnel. Okay, so the function of the separating funnel, it is simply used to separate two or more immiscible liquids. Okay, it is used to separate two or more immiscible liquids with different densities. Okay, now when you talk of immiscible liquids, these are simply liquids that do not mix completely, or rather these are liquids that forms a distinct layer upon being what? Mixed. Okay, examples of those liquids, you can talk of oil and water, diesel and water, kerosene and water, benzene and water, and so many more. Now, what are some of the precautions that you're supposed to follow as you are using the separating funnel? So some of the precautions that you're supposed to follow whenever you are using the separating funnel: number one, ensure that the tap is closed before pouring in the liquid. Okay, that's the first precaution. So you need to ensure that this tap here is closed before pouring in the what? The liquid, okay, or the mixture rather. Then apart from that, allow the liquids to settle completely before shaking. Okay, so when you pour those liquids in this separating funnel, you need to ensure that the liquids settle completely before shaking them. Okay, then apart from that, open the tap slowly and close it immediately the layer comes out. So when you start separating here, you need to make sure that you open the tap, the tap here slowly, and you close it immediately the liquid D or the layer comes out. Okay, then apart from that, you also need to make sure that you don't fill up complete the separating funnel. Instead, you need to leave some space for shaking. Okay, remember that liquid will be shaked in order for it to mix completely. So you need to make sure that you leave a bit of a space that will be used for what? For shaking. Okay, so these are some of the few notes that I had for you on this topic. Please consider joining us. The number is 0974 980775. Now let's try to answer the question that you have been given. Okay, so the question says, the following diagram shows a piece of apparatus used in the laboratory. So we have been given the stopper there as well as the tap. So the first question, which is question A, says, name the piece of apparatus shown in the diagram. So the piece of apparatus that has been shown, this is known as the separating funnel. Okay, that is the name of apparatus there, the separating funnel. Okay, question B, number number 1 says, identify one property of the mixture separated by the piece of apparatus named in A. So one property of a mixture separated by a piece of apparatus named in A is actually the difference in density of the immiscible liquids. Okay, so difference in density. That is one of the properties or the criterion that is used when separating these mixtures. Then number number 2 says, suggest the names of two liquids that can be separated by the piece of apparatus shown in the diagram. So here you can give any example of immiscible liquids. For me here, I'll just say oil and water. Okay, so you can give any. So C says, suggest two precautions that need to be taken to separate the mixture in B2. So the precautions that's supposed to be taken to separate the mixture in B2 is that, number one, allow the mixture to settle. Okay, before separating, to settle. So allow the mixture to settle before separating. And then apart from that, open the tap slowly, and you make sure that you close it immediately the layer comes out. Okay, so this is what I had for you in today's presentation. Please consider giving it a like, share, comment, as well as to follow the page for more information like this. Don't forget, we are Kia and we offer both physical and online lessons. The number is 0974 980775. Thank you so much for watching.